Hello, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good day. How are you guys? Hi, Dave. Hi, Dawn. Welcome, everybody, to a
Hi.
basically spontaneous live stream. Please don't look at me. My eyes are pretty much swollen. But yeah, thank you for joining our two new members. Summertime Sue, thanks for joining. And who else was there? That was 1960. Welcome. So, everybody, welcome to this, like I said, spontaneous live stream. I hope you guys are all right. I just want to give you a little update on what was happening. But before I get into this, I don't get the words at the moment, so I'm really struggling to get the words. But thank you, Julie, for joining. I'm truly overwhelmed of the support I got from you guys. I'm truly thankful for each and every one of you. And it's just I'm totally absolutely lost for words. I did never expect anything like this. Never. Like I said to Dave, thank you, Dave, also for putting that up for me. I would have never thought in a million years that somebody's even doing that for me. Normally it's me doing everything for everybody else. Yeah, what can I say? Thank you guys so much. So I said
No problem at all.
I want to thank every one of you. I did not have time since I did the celebration of life videos for my grandfather. And on Tuesday, we will be having a celebration of life. After that, he will get cremated. And in the week of Christmas, we'll get his urn back. And then we put him to rest. So after all this is done, I will be putting up the funeral or the videos I made for my grandfather for members only. Because also I got, as much as support as I got, I also got many hate emails, many hate messages. And I just don't understand why people can be so cruel. Even if you don't like somebody or you disagree with somebody, that doesn't mean, I don't like some people, but I would never, ever go on their channel and write disgusting comments if they go through something like this, I mean, this is just not necessary. And yeah, that was just a little percentage of people. I would say 99% are really nice. And I also want to thank you guys for being so patient with me that I could not, do a live stream or a video or anything like that. I did that video saying I'm back simply because I missed you guys and I wanted to tell you how much I really truly appreciate everything you do for me. But that does not mean that I'll be, back 100% like on this case every day or every weekend. So please, in this month, in December, everybody should be reflecting about their loved ones and spend time with their families. Please do that, you guys. I will be coming on live, also planning on doing the next timeline part with Dawn and Dave together, of course. But it won't be like online every day, okay? So please, if I don't answer your messages right away or your emails right away, please be patient, okay? Please be patient with me. So Dave put up a donation live stream for me. And what I'm going to be doing, I'm saying names, but not the surnames, because I'm not sure if people, I mean, it is publicly available also on GoFundMe, but I don't know how people feel about this if I say their surname on the internet. So I'm just going to be saying their names. And yeah, leave it at that. But I'm sure you guys know who you are. So I want to thank for giving super chats Carolyn S., Michelle N., Jody, Annette. And then we go to the donations. I have many, many anonymous donations. So I'm sorry, I can obviously don't know who you are. So I'm thanking you, everyone who donated anonymous as well. Then JS, Mary H, Lori KJ, Abby S, Pamela H, Melissa J, Judith T, Elaine J, Adrian I, Dawn P, Betty M, Anne Marie S, Lillian T, Annie S, Mary S, Susan M, Stella O, Nancy C, Anita VR, Renee C, then anonymous donations, Denise L, Lulu O, Kim C, Lily S, Mary S, Nikki A, Jana or Jana P, Ellie S, Oceans D, Kimberly D, Amy O, anonymous, Geraldine B, Dave, obviously, thank you so much, Michelle G, Christina D, Helen B, Catherine C, Mary KJ, Susan H, Catherine C, Kate CC, Amanda S, David again, Christine R. And obviously, thank you so much, Pride or Honesty, and everyone. Yeah, so a massive, massive, massive thank you. And to all those who have said, I'm getting a little taste of what the Ruseks feel now. Let me tell you this. In 2015, I had to bury my aunt and my uncle. They both were murdered in Michigan. So don't you dare say, I don't know how the Ruseks feel. Okay, this is just what I wanted to tell you. And the next thing is, just because I'm German, I have money, I should be paying for the funeral. You guys have no idea about my family dynamics. You don't know me, you don't know what's going on. So please keep your words to yourself. And these were the two messages that hit me the most, because it's just ridiculous. I told Dave, I'm gonna bring up their names, but no, I won't, just let it be. So massive, massive thank you, everybody. I don't even know what to say. And I also wanted to name a special, very, very special person. That is KH. She normally does not want to be named, but I asked her if I can mention her name. She really, really, truly supports me and Dave very much, not only in prayers, but also in actions. We talk on the phone, we send messages, and I just wanted to say thank you so much, KH. You know who you are. I'm just lost for words for what everything you have done for me so far. It's absolutely ridiculous. I truly don't know what to say. So thank you so much. And also, what really helped were all your nice messages of prayers and kind and nice words. This really helped me a lot. And yeah, so thank you guys so much. Thank you. Whew, done.
Tanya, you messaged me. Well, I was getting ready for work, and you messaged me and just said that your grandfather had just passed away. And little did I know at the time, it was before your actual husband had woken up. So I was pretty much the first person that you actually mentioned this to. And from that point on, I felt very over. I was just overcome with emotion for you, and obviously your family. And the first thing I was thinking is, what can I do all the way over here in my little country to help you? And I truly believe that what I did was from 1000% from within my heart. And I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody that has donated. You have no idea the circumstances that Tanya is actually going through
No,
in
and I
her
will
life.
tell you guys in members only. I will tell
And
you why all
I,
this happened as it happened.
so there's a lot of things that happen in people's private lives that we don't share publicly,
Yeah.
for a very good reason. Um, and I just want to just say that for everybody that has donated and sent such kind messages, I mean, it's not about money; it's about the messages that people wrote, the condolences that you wrote, the heartfelt words that were read by myself and by Tanya and by everybody else. It meant the absolute world to me that I could have actually helped touch people's hearts in some way, shape, or form with my actions of what I decided to do for TJ. Um, you're a very, very special person to me. You truly are. We do joke and laugh and carry on like a pair of teenagers at times behind the scenes, but we also argue. We also disagree. We are probably what true friends are really about, and I really want to say a massive thank you for entering my life. And I'm here for you no matter what, and I'll be here for you until the day I die. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. Oh God. Oh man, I didn't even get my nails fixed. I was up from Saturday till Tuesday, 9 a.m. Did not sleep at all. So yeah, for Dave to manage everything so I don't have this burden, it's just really truly means a lot to me. All right, you guys, let's get into the what's case. Even though I don't even feel like talking about him, but there were so many questions. And what I also want to say is there are some creators, I just want to tell you, I'm not an expert. All I do in my own free time with people who I trust and who have the expertise about certain fields. I'm not a newbie to this case. I'm also not from kindergarten or an idiot of some sort just because I say or I state my opinion, right? So, but this just aside, there are many, many questions have reached us or me. Also about the two phones. There were some confusion going on. Thank you, Kirsty. About the phones. I'm gonna explain that really, really quick to you.
And Cashley
Don
joined as well.
is here. Oh, thank you so much for joining. Yeah, I'm on StreamYard again, so this is just showing up with a little delay. So the reason there are people out there saying the reason the phone, thank you so much, Tom. The reason the phones did connect 3 hours or 2 hours apart is because there was no coverage of mobile, no coverage of the phones. So Chris's work phone was, his provider was Verizon, and his personal phone's provider was AT&T. So the tower you see in Keensburg is an AT&T Singular tower. Without getting too deep into that technical stuff, I'm just telling you, iPhone and Apple significant locations do not use cell phone towers. Okay? So this is the explanation. Apple, with the significant locations, they're using GPS, just like, so they're using satellite, just like Geotab and all the other devices are using. So that's the reason I believe, and we believe, I think I can speak for Don and Dave as well, that his personal phone, or was it his work phone? I always get confused.
His
Was
work phone
his work
connected at
phone did
9:02. It was his
connect
work phone.
later. Okay.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with the coverage of the phone providers, because think about this, guys. He did send messages. He was on the phone. He did text. So if there was not enough coverage, that wouldn't be possible. So simple explanation, the phone works, the significant locations on the phone works through GPS, and does not pull basically, or does not need the cell phone tower itself. Okay, if that explains it. Then another thing, I was told, somebody was asking, what was they asking? Oh yeah, because he logged on and off into his home router, and I am under my opinion is that he had somebody on the phone. So somebody came up asking me, yeah, but he could have recorded that, right? So when he walks in, his personal phone does not immediately connect to his router. So by him recording somebody rather than being on the phone with somebody is, he can do that, right? But it wouldn't affect the loggings into the router. So if you call somebody on your phone, the phone is using its own provider, okay? So if you hang up and the phone registers a known Wi-Fi connection or a known Wi-Fi network, it automatically logs into that known Wi-Fi connection network. And this is what we see in on many occasions with Chris, that he is on the phone, hangs up, and immediately, a second later, he logs into his router. So his phone logs into his router. If you record somebody, or if you record something, that's just an app. You can, do that basically with any kind of app, recording of what is said. Thank you so much, Catherine. Don't do that. You did so much already. Then it has nothing to do with the router. Okay, you can record somebody, but it has no effect on the router. So these were the two significant questions I wanted to explain to you guys. If Don wanted to say something about this, because I asked him to, because he's an expert more than we all are. So did I explain that right, Don?
Yes, basically you are true, but to be even simpler to understand, I have prepared 2 slides.
Oh, very nice.
And I would like to share them.
Yes, of course. I turn my camera off for the Wi-Fi.
So will I.
Just so you know, you guys, we have a snowstorm. Oh, I'm not allowed to say you guys anymore. We have a snowstorm, so if my Wi-Fi is going down, I'll be only a minute until I'm back, okay? Just so you know. Okay, Don, you can share your link or your screen.
Just a second.
Mm-hmm.
While I'm here, and just before Don does this, I just want to actually just mention something about TJ. TJ started a Watts group back in 2018, and TJ was actually watching the television when his family first went missing.
Roger and I did. Ask
Yes.
Roger.
Roger, the troll of all trolls, everybody. The friendly troll.
My
Roger.
lovely troll.
Okay, from South Africa. Okay, and that Watts group has over 13,000 members. So if somebody out there says Tanya is just here in the last 6 months studying the case, you are very much mistaken. I just wanted to add that in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so this diagram is showing a typical home network, a modern one that is using wireless. As you can see, in the middle we have the wireless router that we will talk about. This device is only allowing several devices to share the same connection to the internet, or they can communicate between themselves without using the internet. We see in this diagram several devices that are using wireless connections, printers, TVs, desktop computers, tablets, laptops, but also some smart appliances like refrigerators, ovens, all kind of home devices, and network cameras, and of course smartphones. And I will show you another slide that will explain a little bit in detail what Tanya was saying.
Thank you so much. I did not expect that. I just said I did not prepare anything. I just wanted to talk to you guys, but that's awesome.
Yeah, I could have talked about it, but using an image is more, it is easier to understand. So the wireless router has his own logging system. The smartphone, of course, again, another logging system. And for instance, when somebody wants to call another party or to send a message or whatever using the internet, he usually is connecting using the wireless network because it is cheaper. But let's not forget, and you can see here depicted, annotated with number 2, that a smartphone can connect directly to a cell tower using the GSM network to make calls, SMS, MMS, and to access the internet. So what is interesting to us was what is happening when Chris Watts was talking with somebody. The answer is quite simple. First of all, he connected to the wireless router and a log was immediately created showing the time and the ID of the device. And after the call has ended, the phone is going to connection number 2 to the cell tower to say, hey, I'm here. I ended my connection with the wireless router. I am in the GSM network. So you can see me now and I can use the internet connection. Simply, it is not possible to use both networks to access another party. I think that explains.
So what Don's saying, everyone, is when Chris Watts was upstairs in his bedroom, this is a perfect example. When Chris Watts was upstairs in his bedroom, Officer Coonrod walks out of the ensuite bathroom, and Chris Watts is actually on the phone, and he says, "I love you, Mum. I got to go," or whatever it was, to that person on the phone. At that particular time, Chris Watts' phone, just prior to that phone call coming in, was connected to his Wi-Fi router. when the phone call came in, his phone connected to the cell tower
Yes,
is what happened, and it disconnected from the router. As soon
exactly.
as Chris hung up, okay,
Thank
with
you, Nicole.
the person that was supposedly his mother, and I know for a fact was not his mother. I know this for an actual fact, okay? And then he puts the phone back towards his pocket, and he doesn't actually hang up because we believe the person on the end of the phone was actually listening to everything being said. But when he does eventually hang up, his phone then reconnects with the router. That is why his phone kept going in and out, everybody, is because he had somebody on the other end of that phone listening the entire time. That's what Don was explaining. Thanks very much.
And if the conversation was recorded, that information stayed on his phone as a file, as an audio file, and has nothing to do with the router.
Correct.
Okay.
We have a good question. Provision of grief. Hey guys, what would Wi-Fi calling look like?
Wi-Fi calling is when two devices are communicating. It is allowed to call another device without using the GSM network. It's more like using a walkie-talkie, but on wireless. Some phones have the possibility to call another device using only the wireless network in the house.
Exactly. And when you are out and about and you do Wi-Fi calls or wireless calls, it will use the tower.
Yes.
That is correct.
So, and since he called and made calls, took calls and received calls and sent messages, yeah, he was not in the area before 9:02. Has nothing to do with the connection of the cell phone
Yeah.
tower or the
Yes.
coverage.
That has nothing to do with
Thank you, Annette.
with the provider. As Tanya said, the position of the phone is established using the satellite network. And I have prepared some other document too that will show. I mean, I want to debunk the myth about cell phone triangulation to establish the position of the phone using the cell towers. To understand what is the difference between position using cell towers and position using the GPS network.
Right.
I just want to add, Don is an expert in this field. When I actually say he's an expert, he's actually a law enforcement expert who provides data and information to law enforcement across the world. So when I say this gentleman right here knows his shit, he knows it. Okay? So try debunking an expert, the amateurs. Best of luck with that. Thank you.
Right. I just want to answer Camilla real quick. iPhone to iPhone is free through iMessage and iCalls as well, but they still do use their cell towers if they're not in their home network. Okay.
Just a second. Okay. It's another app.
Yes, Debbie, there was something shady, something significantly shady, because his work phone did not connect in the area through GPS before 9:02 a.m. Meaning his phone, I'm not saying him, I mean his phone was not at Survey 319 before 9
Which
a.m.
also adds to the big question is why didn't they show us his route that morning to get to work? They did not show us what he did that morning. They showed his vehicle meeting up through Hudson basically with Troy's vehicle that going the same path, but they
Right.
don't show what it did when it got out to Rogan
Mhm.
at all.
That's exactly what that means, Cecile.
Okay, so
Yes, truth.
as you
Seeker
can see
last.
on the screen in
Can you blow it up a bit? Yeah, thank you.
in this photo, we are seeing a cell tower antenna. I don't know if you looked closely to such antenna in your daily life, but they are exactly like
Never
this.
have.
Yeah. It's better to not look at them from very near because the electromagnetic field could interfere with your brain. The main characteristic of this antenna is that, as you can see, there is a group disposed in a triangle. There is a special reason why they are put like that, but I will not enter in such details. It is enough to understand that each group of antennas is covering a sector of 120 degrees, as seen from above. Let's call those sectors alpha, beta, and gamma. So, for instance, in the center we have the symbol of the tower and the three sectors I was telling you about. Those concentric circles are showing the distance from the tower. And let's say that we have a phone that is located at approximately 8 miles away. That would be the yellow zone. And by using only one tower, the only thing that we can tell is the phone is in sector gamma, only because the signal is more powerful in that sector. And obviously, if we would like to find the phone, it would be very difficult because the area that we would have to search would be very big. But something happens when we are using two cell towers. For instance, the first cell tower depicted in orange is telling us that the cell phone, let's say, is about 6 miles. Oh, no, 4 miles. And the second tower in purple is telling us that the phone is 5 miles away. The intersection of those circles is narrowing the sector that we have to look inside. Okay. And now we see what triangulation means. We are using simultaneously 3 towers. And as before, at the intersection of the circles, we have a very narrow sector that helps us find the phone. When I say us, that would be the GSM provider. Only they are allowed to triangulate a phone if the law enforcement asks them to do that. Otherwise, they are not allowed to track somebody in real time or even after 90 days or so. The records of our movements are kept in their database for about 3 months. So if somebody wants to locate a phone to verify an alibi or to check if somebody is alive by using the signal from his phone, they have only a window of about 3 months. Okay. So,
Don, can I ask a question?
sure.
If you're with Verizon, okay,
Yes.
here in Australia, just want to use, let's just say we have 3 cell phone networks called Telstra, Vodafone, and Optus. Now, if I'm out in the country, Telstra is always the go-to. That's like the biggest phone network within our country. Used to be owned by the government. Okay. So if I'm out in the country, usually, and I'm with Optus, for example, if I connect out in the country with an actual tower of some description on my phone, I would more than likely be connecting to a Telstra tower to actually make my phone call. Because Optus don't have a tower out there. Is it possible that Chris's phone, although it was with Verizon, would actually connect with AT&T?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. We think that each GSM provider is isolated. No, it is not like this. They share the network one with
Yes.
each other.
Exactly.
And if they want, if a phone is outside the reach of the provider area, then another one takes his place from another provider. It is
Right.
a sharing. The same happens when you go abroad by using the roaming service. You are using the local towers, which in turn, they share their network from one country to another. So everything is a worldwide network of towers.
Right. I just want to answer Ali Rich's question real quick, or not a question. She's saying, I really am thinking after Chris spoke to Nate to see the camera view, Nate changed his camera view again. Chris did not know Nate's angle changed again. Well, he does not change his camera angle. The lens rotates, and I made a whole video about that as well. The lens rotates on where the motion is detected. So Nate does not physically change the angle of his camera.
This is actually becoming a very, very informative stream. Thank you, Don.
Thank you so much, Don. I did not
Don,
expect that at all.
that was unbelievable.
That is just the basics, because I didn't take into consideration the fact that the signal doesn't propagate the same in a
You're
town
welcome.
and in outside, in a rural area. When you have buildings, there are all kinds of reflections and degradations of signal, which I didn't take into account.
Absolutely. All right. So I'll be right back in a moment. I will be
Yeah.
back. Sorry to.
So it's just her text messages indicates something else. Something just nags at me that something else happened. Oh yeah, very much so. Very much so. So we know now that they actually even pay to use their network. Is that right, Don? Like they pay monthly. Let's say Verizon pays AT&T such and such amount of money because they basically share network, right? So it's the same when, like you said, when you go abroad, your provider connects with the provider abroad, but they basically do that between themselves, and you
Actually,
don't.
they don't pay one another, but like the costs, they extinguish themselves because one is serving the other and vice versa.
Okay. Okay. What else was a question? I saw something. Yeah, Jody. I think I will have to rewatch again. But Don, thank you so much for doing this. I did not expect that at all.
There's much more to be said. It is easier to ask me because I don't know how much in detail I should go.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, simply explained. Well, I do if I read technical stuff or somebody, who is an expert, it's easy for them to understand. And when they explain it to you, it's like, well, I just explained it like everybody would understand. But no, actually, I don't. So I have to reread and rewatch all the time. You dreamt Shanann was in the basement. A hole appeared in the drywall and said, "Keep investigating." I only saw her eyes and they said that a couple was also involved. Yeah, this is what we believe too. Why else would he take pictures of his basement before? I don't think that was for cleaning purposes, to be honest. What do you think, Dawn?
There are questions that don't have answer for now. And as you know me, I had to speculate.
Yeah, Don doesn't like to speculate. He needs facts and proof. That's why we debunk ourselves. We go through different scenarios on the phone or, in a meeting, and then we debunk ourselves all the time. Off subject for a minute. When did NK and Chris have time to talk about apartments? He was only at her place on Wednesday, then again on Saturday. She said she was Googling apartments. Well, we know that he called her when he was in North Carolina at his parents' house. And immediately after that, he called her. And immediately after, she was looking for wedding dresses and also apartments. So I think that after all this Nutgate mess, he might have said to her, I mean, I don't know, I'm just speculating here, but he could have or might have said to her, you know what, I'm definitely going to break up with my wife or I'm getting a divorce. So look for apartments for me or, I'm going to marry you or whatever he said. But this is just speculation. I'm a first grader. Oh, yeah, that was I was called a first grader. Right? Is that right?
Yes, we need to talk about this first grading diploma that we are attributed by somebody.
Do you want to say something?
Okay, in short, we are first graders, but it shouldn't take 3 years for somebody to look into discovery, to read and analyze and understand. I think 3 months is enough. So I am proud to be a first grader because I think that I totally understood what happened. I couldn't say the same thing about those that are saying they proved everybody what happened. I would be more modest because how can I put it? This is not about us who investigate the case. We don't count. We should not build our lives on a tragedy. We should not feed like leeches from the victims. I know these are strong words, but I want to be heard by the true crime community. So when somebody else is saying that he or she proved to you something, that only means to me that he or she is building an image that shouldn't be there. I mean, it's not the place to prove how smart we are, but to find facts that uncover the truth. So instead of saying that he or she proved something, more correct would be to say, oh, finally I understood what somebody else already explained.
It should be like this, yeah.
And some honesty would be nice to see more often. It's not like, okay, I like peanut butter too, but
Oh, I read that, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
but you know, you don't do that. There are other means to say that you are thankful to somebody that took nights, day and nights, to uncover the truth.
Right. Very much so. I mean, it's not about crediting or something like that. It's, I have the feeling I call people, I work with you guys, and, I have the feeling that it's a constant. If anyone else would have said what we said, it's fine. But simply because of the fact it's us, I have to find something to debunk this. And this is the feeling what I get, right? I'm willing to work together if something comes, of it. I don't want to be on this case for my whole life, but it's like if I feel like it's if we have something others want, then it's always like, oh, let's work together. But how do I say that? If we have, and if we're not willing to work with certain people just to do our own thing, then we're the assholes that needs to be debunked. And this is just my personal feeling I have. I don't know about you, Dave, but I make no sense.
Well, I'm blocked. Every alt I ever use when I go into the chat and I try to make sense of what is being said. I just want to actually say this. I want to give you all a perfect example of what a study group should be all about. Okay, this particular person and his offsider were discussing the slides on Nate's TV screen. All the little video short of the clips that you actually see on his screen of when the camera was first activated.
His surveillance
Yes,
on body cam.
for
Okay.
motion.
Yes, the
No,
events.
Nate's camera. Okay, so we're talking, and this creator was actually saying that these are the 30-second clips that Nate has from his camera, and then the other person was saying, yes, you're right, I agree. I came into chat and I wrote, they are motion detections. They are not 30-second clips.
Mhm.
That comment
Which is true.
was immediately deleted. Immediately. It went 2 comments up from the bottom and it was deleted. Okay? And then 10 seconds later, the other person on the channel said, no AD, I believe they are motion detection clips. Okay? So 1 minute that person's agreeing. Okay? The very next thing, I've written what I've written. Instead of saying, oh, thanks for that, so-and-so, because this is a study group, you know.
Everybody chips in with their
Everybody
stuff.
chips in. It's a study group. I was just trying to help make it authentic. The comment got deleted, and then they actually, went on to actually say what I said as fact, without actually acknowledging the person that actually wrote it, because that comment was deleted immediately.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I stopped just to.
No, we should stop here because it's, as I said, it's not about us. It was just a short example. I understand,
Yes.
Dave. We are interested in bringing up the truth, and at one moment we will stop and we'll move on because, frankly, I am quite disappointed about this case where the main actor doesn't want to cooperate. I know he has his reasons, mainly to keep him safe in prison. He would be almost exposed. If he would be put in public population area, he would not survive much. That is his only reason that I understand. But otherwise, I am very disappointed, and frankly, I prefer to work in a case where somebody acts like a man, not like a coward.
Right. So this is actually what Michelle is saying. I think it's so strange that they have a big plaque on the wall about solving what's case with all their names on it. Has anyone else seen it or thinks it's strange? Do you mean Weld County or?
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they all got kind of like promoted, didn't they?
It's at Frederick Police Department office. That's where it is. That's where it's located.
Yeah. Yeah, I found that strange too, because what have they solved? Nothing. If I was talking to Don on the phone and he's like, I can't believe that she got promoted. She did nothing in that polygraph to make him confess. We have not seen the polygraph. That's the first thing. The second thing is he basically fabricated a story he thought would fit. In his own words, I just told them what they wanted to know. I just told them what they wanted to hear. Right? This is what he said. So, yeah, I so want to see this polygraph. I so want to see it. But that's probably never going to happen.
It should be released. It's public information. It is actually public information, but it won't do their cause any bloody good if they release it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that he failed the polygraph his tactic was
Don't worry about
childish.
it, Lily. It means nothing to me. You're always welcome here, Lily. Don't worry. See, this is also, I'm not saying, oh, you guys cannot watch this and that creator. No, I don't really care, you know. But if somebody's saying to me, I always say, use that stuff we have. I'm no expert, but I talk to experts in the background. I actually only have Dawn on, right? But there are many people I talk to in the background. And we don't bring anything out that's not 100% fact. So, and we debunk ourselves many, many times, right, Dave? On the phone and
All the time.
always. And only if we are 100% sure and if we confirmed with experts, we bring it out. And I always say on every live stream, take screenshots, pause it, get it out there, do whatever you want to do with this. We all want the same thing, basically. But all of a sudden, it's not about wanting the same thing anymore, right? It's just a hunt for who's better, who found something first, who did this, who did that, and who's better and bigger, right? I don't care about this stuff. I truly don't. What is kind of pissing me off is if people make a mockery out of it. Like, oh my God, yeah, I have to credit, my peanut butter or whatever was said. This is just not nice. It's not nice. And I'm going to say this right now to you, AD. Yeah? You asked for permission to use my stuff and I gave you permission. It's not a problem at all. You asked me, can I use your slides? Can I talk about the case? We give you full credit. And what did I say to you? Not a problem at all. Use everything, right? But the next time, then something, and I don't even say you cannot disagree with me. Oh my God, everybody has their own opinion. But making a mockery out of this, calling people first graders, this is just not cool. Not cool. Rant
Yes.
over.
It is disgusting, the behaviour. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
The case where we're actually going very soon is TJ is going to be continuing on with her timeline. Next week, Tanya has a very huge family commitment, the celebration of life of her grandfather, which will be coincidentally, it's staggering, the coincidences in this case, as everybody knows. It's all synchronicity. She is laying to rest her grandfather on my birthday, and which also coincides with the 35th anniversary of my father passing away of cancer. The coincidences just keep going on and on and on and on in everything that we do. So, but after Tanya's laid her grandfather to rest, we will be continuing on Tanya's channel with the timeline, because it doesn't all stop on August the 13th, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It well and truly continues on the 14th, 15th, right up until the 5th of November. But we're not going to go daily to the 5th of November, but we're just going to focus mainly.
Sorry, Dave. That's very true, Lily. Thank you. That's very true. She did. Absolutely.
So we're not, so the 14th and 15th, up to the 17th are actually very, very significant in this case. I'll right through to the 21st, pretty much, when Chris is formally charged.
Mm-hmm.
So with all the crimes, all 9 counts, which I can't figure out how he could have ever been charged with 9 counts when all he did was admit to killing his wife. That's the bit that I just can't fathom. Just because he knew where the bodies were doesn't mean they automatically could have just charged Chris Watts with all 9 counts. It just doesn't give them that right. And they never, ever had to prove to the court by him accepting the plea deal. They were still going to have the preliminary hearing, which was going to hear the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
on November the 19th, right, to see if those charges were actually going to stick, all right, because they still had to prove their case just for the actual charges, whether the court was going to accept them. And then on November the 5th, when they brought it all forward, to the November the 6th, we never got to hear that evidence to suggest that they actually could have charged him with all 9 counts and if it was legal.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the big thing that the whole case is missing, is that November 19th preliminary hearing, which was deferred, everybody. It was not waived. I just want to get that out there.
Yeah. Of course, Lily, you can. Welcome, Laurie. Okay, waiting for Lily's question. Catherine, you said something about the truck outside. I just read it. Where was it? That was something interesting. Let me just scroll back for a second. Friggin' delay, and then I can't find it anymore.
It shouldn't be a competition. It's about seeking justice for victims and finding the accomplices.
Very much.
Absolutely, Catherine. Absolutely, Catherine.
I can't find it anymore. Would you, Catherine, if you don't mind, would you please put that up again? I can't find it anymore. It was something about Shanann when she walked in on the truck. That was kind of interesting. Yes, Dave can answer you that.
Well, I can tell each and every one of you right now that Ronnie Watts, that's Chris Watts' father, for those that you don't know, spoke with Assistant District Attorney Steve Wren outside the courtroom on the day Chris was, the day of the plea, the day of sentencing on the 22nd. And Ronnie said, "So what evidence did you have?" And Assistant District Attorney Wren said, "Oh, we had a theory. A theory." They're the words.
Yeah.
He's doing 5 life sentences and 84 years
On no
on
evidence.
a theory and no evidence.
Right. Lily, do you think CW parked outside Nate's out of view, then someone else took his personal phone and drove his truck to Survey? I mean, when he, like we saw on Don's minute by minute and second by second timeline of in and out of, when he went in and out of the garage, he stops for how many minutes when he shuts the garage door? How many minutes is he outside in his truck?
About 1 minute and a half.
1.5 minutes, and we don't even see him getting into his truck.
No.
Right? We see him basically walking from his truck back to the garage, shutting the garage door, walking back to the truck, and he stays there for 1.5 minutes. But he was not on the phone. There it is.
Simon Page. Oh, sorry. Catherine. Okay, sorry. And then we'll look at Simon Page's question because it's brilliant. The truck has no hoses in the back and no door at the end of the truck. It was parked in the street when Shanann got home. That is correct. Mm-hmm. That is correct. The same vehicle that was parked out the front at 2825 Saratoga Trail, not 2905, outside 2825 Saratoga Trail, did not have those hoses in the back. And those hoses were later seen The first time we saw those hoses was when he drove past Jason Evans' house at 6432 Saratoga Trail.
Right.
We've got
Hold on,
that
I'm
little-
looking for the picture for those of you who have not seen the hoses.
And I don't think Chris went into a position that day to have actually loaded any hoses into his truck. He had no reason to.
Right.
My opinion is that the hoses were on the bed floor during the night, and he used them somehow at survey. Then when he came back, they were upright.
That's possible.
Yeah, and he pushed in this fire extinguisher,
Yes.
which
Yes,
was fired. This one, right?
There you go. There it is. There's the hoses. That's where he's going past Jason Evans' house at 6432
Yeah.
Saratoga Trail. Yep.
Here are the hoses.
And
And
he
they are
pushed the fire.
kind of, I mean, in front of his house, you would have seen those hoses. So maybe
Really?
it was a different truck.
It's possible. Anything is possible. And
Yeah.
Simon Page, do you think Trent Bolt was planted by NK? Here we go. To take the heat off her. The things he says, like, I miss your face, in a text. Far too many coincidences worth looking into. Well, were those texts from NK herself? Is my question. As in, was that her phone or one of her phones that Trent walked in there with and showed the police?
Her phones? One of her phones when Trent walked in to show the police.
Trent's showing text messages on his phone in the discovery about
Yeah.
his so-called relationship with Chris.
Yeah.
And he writes, I miss your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
NK
what they
also said
could
that.
have, but what they easily could have done, and we also don't, that's the point as well. No matter who they brought in, they always checked on the phone, is it really Chris's number? We have not seen
Yes.
that
Yes.
screenshot.
If you click
with
on
Trent.
Chris Watt, and if you click on the name at the top and go for
Yeah.
info,
It says the
could,
number.
could be anything.
Yeah. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Ali.
Ali Sparkles.
Hugs to you too. Yes, I'm really, really grateful for this community. Really am. Thank you so much.
Her Ali's originally not far from me, where she's from. She's very, very close to where
Data protection.
up in Bris Vegas, not down here.
Bris Vegas.
Yeah. All right. So she's an absolute amazing supporter and has been for many, many, many months on my channel, and as
Thank
she
you
is
so much.
now, obviously, with you.
Thank you so much. Do you guys think the plan was to blow the tanks up and blame unstable Shannon with the note his folks had for extra backup and not gate etc?
Yeah, the note. If something happens to me, look into Shanann. Basically, it's what he was saying in the note. It could involve Shanann and her past.
Yeah.
That
But
note.
do you guys think the plan was to blow the tanks up? It's not that easy to blow them up. As I explained many times before, they have like flaps. So I can make a video about the tanks if you guys want. What would have happened is he would have basically had to throw a match through the hatches to get this blown up. The fumes are what's flammable. The oil, not so much. So if he would have done this, I don't think so.
But I think
But
I'm
something
not.
was wrong with that gas can he loaded up his truck.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's powered by electricity out there or if it's powered by gas. If it's powered by gas, you may not have had to be near the tanks. So I don't know how it's actually powered, whether it's powered by power or gas.
What, the tanks?
The whole setup.
The tanks are not powered by gas. Or are they? Let me think. If they would be powered by electricity, that would spark. I don't think so. I think you're right.
I don't know. This is the.
Or it's pressure, air pressure could be too.
Yep.
Don, this is a question for you. Just give me a second. I'll be right back. Just getting a Dr. Pepper.
Yes, we see him maneuvering something with that jerry can, but we don't see exactly if the gas was spilled. At first, I thought that he wanted to take that jerry can to simulate there is a leak, but I understand that the leak was from Friday the previous week. So then I thought he spilled gas to hide some smell. So in the end, I don't know, and I cannot pronounce myself for sure.
Did he pour petrol into something in the back of the truck that we don't know? We don't know. They took trace lifts from the back seats, also from the floorboard, but they weren't tested, unfortunately.
It's
so
more
the
like
most significant thing, the back seat and the floorboard of the back seat, the back row, were not tested.
Leslie D. Tanya might be able to actually answer this question because she's a genius and she's going to be covering this in the lead up to her grandfather passing away. That was going to be the topic of her next live stream. So when you have a look at Leslie's comment.
Hold on, I don't see
Leslie
it. Right
D.
Elizabeth, what do you mean? The truck door is the wrong way around? Leslie?
Down the bottom. 5 from the bottom. Was any data from the Watts house from their Alexa device that they had, as it records everything when it's turned on and saved?
Yep, that's gonna be... I was not planning on doing this tomorrow, but I will. Tomorrow, I'm gonna show you real quick what we're doing. Let me find it real quick. But Elizabeth, that is very interesting. I really want to know what you mean by saying
the back doors were the wrong way around. So
yeah.
was she talking about, I don't know. Well, I do know the doors are the wrong way. Here we go. The smaller grey truck and Chris Watts truck doors open in different ways. Talking about the one outside the NK step grandfather's house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the doors are different from the small between the two trucks. Yes.
This is what we're gonna do tomorrow. It's not a big massive. It's not a big massive live stream, but I push it and push it and push it because of all what happened. But yeah, it's not gonna be a long one. But this is what we're gonna do tomorrow. I prepared a
She
little something
knows.
a while ago
She knows everything.
for this. I don't know everything.
No, not you. Alexa.
Alexa,
Alexa. She knows
Echo
everything.
Dot.
Mm-hmm.
When I called Jeff and I said, well, what about the Alexa and this and that? And he's like, what's Alexa? And I'm like, Alexa, you know, Alexa. And he's like, that's not called Alexa, that's Echo Dot. And I'm like, all right. These experts are like, what's Alexa? Do you think the girls were supposed to be killed or did things go wrong? My personal opinion is I think things went wrong. I don't think they were supposed to be killed. But
Yes, me
talking
too.
for myself.
Me too.
Couple stars. Is there a link?
Up until 3 days ago, I thought the exact same thing as you two. But something's going through my head that I just can't get rid of, and I won't discuss it here. And I'm sorry, I won't. But something's going through my mind, and I just can't get it out of my head. So that I will discuss on my channel at some stage, because it is a question that does need to be asked.
Yeah.
And I won't do it here.
Are suicides covered by life insurance? I've been looking into this a long time ago. If you have a life insurance and you have mental issues, then there is life insurances that they will also pay out if you commit suicide.
Very interesting.
Can somebody put Dawn's channel link in the chat, please?
I just want to let everybody know that those that aren't aware, Don Joe has two very important videos on his channel. The first video Don uploaded many months ago, and he reconfigured and removed the air conditioning noise from Chris Watts' interview in Wisconsin on February the 19th, 2018. And what Don did, it allowed you to actually hear more of what Chris actually says. And it's actually no longer a murmur. And this video has now reached nearly 250,000 views. It's amazing what he actually did on his channel, and it's a true credit to him. And
Yes.
that is what a lot of people go to Don's channel for, is that one repairing of the audio. The second one that everybody should be jumping on is Don did an amazing job fixing the audio of Nicole Kessinger's interview on the 15th of August in Majestic Park in Arvada with her father. And he has also fixed and repaired that as well. So these are the two very significant things that Don has released himself has part of his work on this case, and everything else Don has done, he's actually shared with us.
Yes.
Then we deliver that information to you.
Exactly.
That is how this works. And Don is a very, 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 very important person to our team.
Definitely.
Thank you, Dave and TJ. I would like to tell you about another case that I think Tanya knows about. It is very important what kind of sounds are recorded, and sometimes a case can be solved only if you know where to look. So if I can tell you in short, the case, it goes like this. A very rich person had his house ransacked. Somebody entered by force in his house, and he only stole something without much value, but he destroyed most of his house. So everything that was left to look at was again some CCTV footage that I had a look at, and the camera had sound too. That was the detail that allowed me to solve the case. So I saw that before entering the house, the thief, the so-called thief, called somebody on the phone. He had an old model of phone that with a keyboard, and I thought that maybe he called his accomplice that was waiting outside or in the area to check if somebody is coming. But we didn't find anybody else aside him. No other traces but his. So I tried to isolate the sounds that keyboard made when he called that person. As you know, each key from the keyboard has a different sound. So I reconstructed the number he called by the sound of the keys.
Oh my God.
The surprise, of course, there is some possible combinations of numbers, but by going through them one by one, we found out that the phone that he called was exactly the owner of the house, that rich person.
So you basically knew by the sound of the keys that it was him?
I reconstructed the number he called. And one of the possible numbers was the phone number of the owner of the house. Basically, he arranged that so-called theft and destruction of the house to claim the insurance.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, but see what experts can do, right? You
Yes.
little first grade
Experts.
I was lucky.
Experts.
I was lucky. Sometimes you don't get the lucky. I mean, there are cases that we don't solve.
Right. Yeah. So I never saw a red car in the back of the house.
I did.
You did?
Yeah, on Tuesday and Monday.
Or was that from the guy with the shovel or something?
No, that was the Tuesday. Okay. But on the Monday, there is a vehicle. You can see it when there is a red vehicle out the back through the window. You can actually see it when one of the officers is standing in the kitchen. You can actually look out through that, straight out through the back window, not the sliding glass door. If you look out through the window, there is a red car at the back and a white one.
Okay, I gotta look at this.
And just before you go on to Gina Marie's, I just want to, Haley Tyson, videos can be edited. I believe valuable seconds are missing from the infamous Nate video. Being into video editing, it stands out a mile. I wish I could get the raw footage. Well, Haley, the person on this panel with us right now, has been through Nate's video, the raw footage, and has 100% guaranteed everybody it is not tampered with. I thought it may well have been, and so did Tanya. We both thought that it had been tampered with. Okay, so I just want to let you know that video is 100% authentic.
Yeah, Nate's footage is,
100% authentic.
If only a few weeks prior, 10,000 was removed from an account and then a murder occurred. Why wasn't it looked into by law enforcement? Yeah, that's what I want to know too. Where's the $10,000?
Yeah. Where is it?
We don't know. It never hit any account.
Maybe
Thank you for
Sandy. I
joining.
don't know. Maybe Sandy or Frankie Jr. can write it in a chat one day somewhere. Maybe they know where that money went. Seriously,
Yeah,
and I'm serious. I'm not actually. It's not an accusation. Maybe they could just comment on it. At least, like, let the world know where it went, because she's have a fair idea. Because Shanann
thank you,
actually
Lily.
withdrew it.
Yep, very much awesome. Oh, Dawn, Catherine is asking for you. Do you believe that somebody's hiding in that closet when Chris
No,
comes in?
no, I watched quite closely, and there are different angles when he's
Thank you, Annie.
using the torch. When first time when he's looking in the left side of the drawer, he is somehow to the right of the door, and he is shedding light in an angle. Then the second time when he's almost inside, it is another angle. It is okay. It is an illusion, but I understand it is quite easy to miss it, to interpret it like somebody was in there. Also on the floor there were some shoes
The
or
shoes.
something.
Yeah.
Yes, that added to that illusion.
Aw, I wanted it to be true. But that phone stuff, Catherine enhanced, there was definitely a phone under the bed.
Under the bed? Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Definitely a phone under the bed.
Yeah. I thought in the start that was some kind of reflection of a light. And Don said that too. It's a reflection. But then there was no light, no source what could have caused the reflection under the bed.
No, there was
So
no
I
light
think,
source.
yeah,
Everything was closed up.
right. Well, they had like little these nightstand lamps, but that's interesting, Private Eye. Water truck at Survey ready to put out a fire if required. Something a health and safety person may arrange to have on standby. Could be, yeah. I never thought of this.
What's
Very
his
good eye.
name? And let's remember, everybody, Cody lived with Troy. And we all know Troy is as shady as they come.
Oh, can I say something real quick before you continue? I have never, because
Yes.
this came to my attention, I have never said that any of his co-workers had something to do with it. I was questioning why they did not see certain things or report certain things to police. And what I said was either they know something, what they don't want to say, or it's just a coincidence, or they forgot to mention it. You're under pressure, law enforcement's talking to you, etc., etc. But I never accused anybody of murder from his co-workers. I just asked questions because it just came to my attention that somebody said I would be careful accusing somebody of murder. I never did that.
Yeah, the person that makes accusations is me, and I do it on my channel. I don't do it over here. All right. So if anyone makes accusations,
I
it's
mean,
me,
everybody
and
can
I
have
do it.
their own opinion, but don't
Correct.
say I said this and that. I never
Correct.
did,
When you didn't.
right?
That's correct. All right. Where are we? So let's all remember, everybody. Cody lives with Troy. Troy's as shady as they come. Okay.
Yeah.
Cody's the one that organised the water truck. Cody organised it for that water truck to be there on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right? Troy would have known the water truck was going to be there. And Tanya has questioned me, well, why would he go out there knowing the water truck was there? Well, Cody organised it. This is what Tanya's always like, but Cody's got nothing to do with it. It's got nothing to do with anything. I said, did he have nothing to do with anything?
Yeah, I tend to believe that he did not. But on the other hand, when I'm thinking about the yellow lines, you guys remember the yellow lines we saw?
The peanut butter
when he
ones.
was the peanut butter stuff, yeah. When he was circling the dump site, Cody said in, I think either it was in his interview or he even sent a message to Chris. I can't really remember, you guys, but one of the two. At 7:40 something, he arrived at the 1029. So if Chris was circling around the area after 319, then Cody would have seen it. So what does that tell us? It all went down before he went to the 319.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right? Like,
Highly
does it
possible.
make sense?
It makes perfect sense. So him circling, if nobody saw him circle, it would have been at approximately 9:02
Thank you. Yeah.
when the phone came back into when the phone appeared in the Roggan area. That's possible.
Right.
Because we don't know whose truck Chris drove to Servi. I'm sorry, we don't. We actually don't.
Yeah.
Based on everything we've seen so far.
Right.
We just don't know.
Exactly. And Kay looking them up in 2017, so suspicious. How can anyone just ignore that? Well, this is something, the main public, the main public, they are, if their attorneys or state's attorney says something, they just believe it because they're not into true crime like we are as a community, as a true crime community, right? So they think, obviously, everything the district attorney says is true. And Rourke said, I have no explanation for this. Well, then look into it. Look into it. Your data guy told you in August that she was looking up them two, Shanann as well as Chris, in 2017. So why are you, in 2017. So why are you not looking into this like right away? Why are you waiting for so long until somebody asks the question, why did she look them up? And the main public, they just take it. They just, yeah, okay. He's okay. He's right. Thanks for joining, Ellie. And this is what kind of pisses me off.
And thank you, Taro knows. Taro Baldelli, £20 donation. Take care of you, TJ. Block the brain donors. Yeah. The ones that just cause a problem.
I put it up. Yeah. Thank you. This is something for you, Dave.
Oh, you're good. I think it's very possible. I think it's possible because somebody in the area knows her, who knows us. So I think it's possible. I think it's actually possible.
Somebody in the area who knows us and knows her also said that she will never and did never speak to anyone but law enforcement.
Okay.
Take it or leave it. And Betty's not living there anymore.
No, 3 weeks. 3 weeks after.
Shortly after she moved.
Yeah, it was shortly after she moved out. Very shortly after.
I believe. Well, where is it gone? I believe they sourced CW for the fall, but if they didn't take the bait, who would have they chosen at Anadarko then? Well, I think Dave can answer that question because I personally did not look that much into Anadarko. So from my standpoint of view right now, I don't believe that Anadarko had anything to do with this. So not the company of Anadarko, maybe employees of Anadarko, but not Anadarko as itself. But I don't know. I did not look enough into this. So this is a question for you, Dave.
I believe others were sourced. A particular other was sourced. And for the to actually assist. Okay, to get Chris to do this heinous act, or to at least include him in it. So he will be the one that actually goes down for whatever occurs. But I think Chris was chosen because he was well liked and easy to manipulate, which is highly possible.
Yeah. Is law enforcement doing anything with the information you guys gave them? I gotta say something to this. Don't think we forward stuff like that to the sources that were working on this case.
That is correct.
So there's no Weld County or anything or anyone of this area involved in this. And obviously everything has to be reconfirmed because anyone could come and say, oh, look at this and look at that and look at this and look at that. They have to obviously confirm stuff as well. And Kay was the health and safety. Why wasn't she involved in the oil leak? Surely this is a serious incident based on the explosions previously. Yep, you're dead right.
But she was too busy having half days. See, she left work on the Friday, everyone. She left work at 12 o'clock, 12:15 Friday, the 10th, the same day that they all held that so-called meeting that Chris had the day off to as well at Fort Lupton Safeway car park. So let's remember, she left work early that day, and that was the day that the oil leak was reported by Cody to Troy on the phone on speaker next to Chris, because the kids were in the truck eating ice cream. I'll just say that again. The kids were in the truck eating ice cream. According to Troy McCoy, they were eating ice cream, according to Troy McCoy.
What flavor?
I don't know, but it was ice cream. I just wanted to add that, okay? And I don't...
Bought in a nut-free shop, of course.
Quite possibly. Definitely. So, I believe NK should have definitely been informed. And she should have done a report on this, because that is her title. But she wasn't available.
Yeah.
Maybe she was in the orange Mustang.
Think about the picture he took of the oil levels of his laptop screen.
Only if he took them.
Yeah. I mean, if Don would see that picture in thumbnail format, I bet you any money he would find out. He could that would take probably a matter of seconds, and you can read everything what's on that picture. In a news report, they or two after, it says a second truck belonging to the family parked further down the street was removed to investigate. Whose was this and why didn't they return to get it?
What the
Huh? A second truck belonging to the family, to the Watts family? To Chris and Shanann?
They had the Lexus, and he had his work truck, which wasn't his.
Right.
That's Debbie McLean. I can't answer that. I don't know. If you've got the news report, please email it through to Tanya.
Yes, please.
Private Eye, if you've got it or access to it. And Don. Does Don Joe thinks this case stinks? Debbie McLean.
Yes, it's a nasty smell.
A female journalist says it.
That would be so nice. I just put my email up. If you find it, Private Eye, just send it to me. That's so interesting. Yeah, this case stinks, definitely. Dave and TJ, do you believe CW killed no one? No.
I believe Chris Watts
I
killed.
believe he killed one person.
Yep, and I believe there's every chance he didn't kill anyone.
This is where we differ.
I'm getting closer to he didn't kill anyone than I am that he killed someone. But is it highly possible he killed his wife and 2 children? Absolutely. Is it
Yes.
logical? No. Okay? Absolutely not. Is it possible he killed his wife? Well and truly.
Yeah, and this is what I'm going with, because there is no evidence that he did and no evidence that he didn't. But when I was talking to somebody very, very close to them, I learned that, we made a whole live stream about this, about the mental health and the situation he was in. I think in the situation he was mentally, possibly, and like I said, I'm not an expert. This is just my own opinion. I think he could have very well done it to Shanann, killing Shanann. The kids, I'm not sure. I would say no. But like I said, there's no proof. But in the state and condition he was mentally, I do think that he very well could have killed her. Like I said, no proof, just my opinion based on his behavior and all the arguments and everything they had before. Well, that's the thing. Who owns the press, right? Provision of grief.
We do. We're people.
And I know that I don't know if I can say who it was, but a person already spoke to the Denver Post, I believe, and they wouldn't cover this story simply because they get told what to write.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know her whereabouts. I know her new last name, though.
There's another name floating around right now that many, many people have written all over the place. So it's very interesting that you've said one name and this other name it's really taking hold. And it's all 3 names. There's 3 names in this.
I learned that shortly, like an hour after the court appointment. But I would never, ever say it. Ever.
Welcome, KH.
Hi, KH. I don't think he's capable of murder, judging by his general demeanor. Yeah. Like
I
I
think
said.
we're all capable, but
Oh, yeah.
I think we're all capable. Seriously, I do. But the way he was afterwards, the guy isn't a criminal. I can't see him actually having killed anyone. The way he acted right up until the interrogation after the polygraph. Something happened in that polygraph or just after it. Something in him. Something happened. And I cannot pinpoint it. I just cannot.
I would like to say to David that looks can be very deceiving.
No, I'm sure they can.
I've seen people that you wouldn't think they did horrible things, yet they did.
Yeah, true. I think everyone of us is capable of horrible things. It just depends on the situation.
Yeah.
I mean, a mother defending her child or a father defending their children or, stuff like that. I really, truly can see that. They should have gotten DNA from under her nails. They still have
They
her
have
there.
the nails. They have everyone's nails.
Yep.
All three victims, they have their nails.
He definitely knows something. Dave, this is a question for you. Have you seen NK pics lately?
No. Somebody tried to send me something saying that it was her, and I was like, just shook my head and went, not in a million years.
Right. I just don't understand why he doesn't speak out now. I think he killed her. Just be patient, is all I can say. Yep. Queen Bee Missy. That's what I think too.
I think Don believes Chris definitely killed Shanann.
Don, what do you think?
We have to think what he had to gain of that, and to be honest, he had a lot. So there is reason and opportunity.
Right. Was CW making plans to reconnect with Shanann? Plans to get away to Aspen? 100%.
Yeah, he was.
100%. They even had their own little gender reveal party going on, just the two of them. So they were on good terms again before Shanann left for Arizona. This is what I was told. And Dave was also told that he said he decided to stay with his family. And this pissed some people off, obviously.
Yep. Yep. If you only went to the game, Chris. If you only went to the game.
Any thoughts of the picture of the 4 chicken breasts in the fridge, the 4 victims? I want to say about that picture, it doesn't say he took a picture of 4 chicken breasts on the barbecue grill.
Correct.
It just says he put a picture into his files or something along those lines.
It's an image that he actually searched on Google. It's not a photo he took.
Yeah, so there's no indicate, and also nothing in his timeline from the item number that suggests he took a picture of his barbecue. I even doubt that he had a barbecue, to be honest.
They had a little griller thing out on the back. They had something out there on that back landing.
Yeah, but we don't know if he actually really grilled something.
Yes.
CW got set up. He is no Angle in this, but the
Angel.
plans got changed without him knowing about it midstream. Yep, I agree. I think we all agree on that.
Mm.
I've suspected Cece died after the party from a reaction. He panicked and didn't know what to do. So a plan was launched to create an accident and involve Shanann too.
Anything's possible.
Yeah. But he had this EpiPen. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly what I think too, June. I think he was fully committed, but then tried to pull out, but he was too far involved.
Yes.
Yeah, that hits the nail on the head. The chicken fillet and the fridge temperature. Yeah, this is what this is what I think about a lot. Why would you take a picture of the temperature of your fridge? And by the way, it doesn't say basement fridge. I reread that in the discovery. It does not say, it just says refrigerator, but not basement. I could be wrong, but I didn't see basement.
Now, people say Frank Sr. said he saw the kids eating cold pizza. Then people say Chris sent a photo, okay, to Shanann of the kids eating cold pizza. Yes, the picture was taken AM, 10:56 AM or thereabouts. The kids were eating cold pizza when Chris got the message from Shanann. And that's when he responded with the cold pizza images. It wasn't Sunday night. He actually responded, right? The cold pizza images, everybody, was that AM morning, the actual Sunday morning before the
Right.
party. All right. So the cold pizza photos were never taken late in the day. It was before the party, after Shanann asked for that photo, which was like 10:55 AM, roughly, I think, in the discovery.
I think he would have turned on the people that really did it. Well, I mean, wouldn't he have turned on them right then and there? I mean, he still, if there was some sort of plan going on and he was like heavily involved, don't you think that he still had the time to go to police and say, listen, this is what's been going on. I've been threatened or whatever, and this is the plan? Because he is saying I could not save my children, right?
Yeah, that's right. He actually blamed the police for not letting him save his children.
Yeah.
It is also very possible that Chris Watts didn't know the entire plan. So he couldn't say who did it. He was not part of the entire plan. There was a special plan just for him.
Yes, and it was a part of framing him for
Exactly.
everything that
Yes.
he wasn't aware of.
Yes.
And so I don't think Chris actually knows who hurt his girls
Exactly.
officially.
Yes.
But we all have a fair idea, and I've mentioned their names many, many, many times. That's my opinion on my channel.
Right.
Okay, so it's not something that I'll do over here on TJ's channel and make accusations.
Do you think the case will be solved in the near future? No,
No,
not in the near future.
not when you're
If you
dealing
look
with the
at
FBI.
cases, there are actually many cases. There has been investigations going on in the background, right? Let's see, for example, Scott Peterson. There were lawyers working in the background a year or almost 2 years before it even came out that he filed an appeal, right? So it takes time. It's not like, you get the evidence and try to solve something. There's still things you have to prove, things you have to talk about, make sure everything it's admissible in a court of law, all this stuff. So if you look at these cases in the past, how long did it take actually until it even got to a trial? That was roughly 5 to 10 years we're talking. Yeah, it's not like they have evidence and then within 6 months this is all done and dusted. Not going to happen.
Just excuse me, I'll be back in a moment.
Yes. In emotional meltdown, I think CW would hurt himself before anyone else. Don, this is a question or something for you, because you've been part of interrogations many times.
Yes.
Lily, can you put it again? I have a delay. Sorry, I did not see it. Oh, I saw it. Yeah, this will come up right after.
He would never hurt himself. For him, his life is very precious. He is only afraid that his biggest nightmare would be that he will be thrown in the general public, general population area, which I think would be his end in a matter of a month maximum.
Yeah, and therefore, he's so scared that he goes into somewhere else in another prison, or even will be moved back to Colorado. Scared that something will happen or people kill him or whatever. So yeah, I agree. I don't think he would do that.
To put it more direct or more bluntly, I think the price for his so-called admission of guilt was to be kept away from the public population.
Yeah, I see that. Don, is it possible there's another man plus CW coming in and out of the truck on the 13th of August?
No.
So no other man, in your opinion?
No.
They were not on good terms. That Monday was the last possible day for Chris to make a decision. He would never juggle NK and Shanann when she was home. Well, we don't know that. Maybe she was already inside. That's why it's so important and we have a few logins from Alexa. Alexa picked something up at certain times. So we're gonna discuss that tomorrow. I have felt that way, but the way he ate that pizza, even if he hadn't killed anyone, you would think after all the talk of what had happened, you wouldn't think he would be able to eat. Yeah, that's what I think too. I mean, I don't know. Is it possible that murderers have an appetite, Don?
Only those that are very ill, like full-blown psychopaths.
Yeah. Shanann would have fought like hell. In my opinion, somebody held her down while instructing CW to do the murder and threatened him by saying they would harm his kids.
I would like to debunk something. This myth about Shanann being so strong to fight.
15 weeks pregnant.
What?
She was 15 weeks pregnant. She wasn't going to be that strong to fight, like Frank Sr. said.
Yes, not only that, but she had a weak neck.
Oh, talking about weak neck. I don't know. I did not watch it in its entirety. But Dave, when you put up Nicole Atkinson's interview, doesn't she say something about, or is it in a media interview? If he would killed her, he would have strangled her because of her weak neck or something along those lines. I
NA
can't
says
remember where it was.
it. NA says it.
NA says it, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Dawn, for interrupting you.
Yes, just to give you an example, like a hypothesis. Let's say that Shanann was attacked on the stairs, and somebody pressed on her neck from behind, on the edge of the steps of the stairs. That would be lethal. Just pushing with the palm of the hand on her neck and on the edge of one step of the stairs.
I don't even want to imagine.
Yeah, probably people don't know what happens when the neck is attacked. It is a very weak point for the majority of us, and I see it happening without Shanann being able to defend herself.
Mhm.
If her neck was attacked, he could have nothing to do.
I think he used chloroform. I think so too. This is interesting also for Dawn. Dawn made a little chart. Anyone like to explain the motive for this huge murder plan? What do they gain? I think Dawn is the best to explain that because
First of all,
if you want to
yes.
put up,
Just a second to see if I have it.
we did that. I think it was on the last part I did on the timeline where we put that up.
Yeah, it is also online, but just to see.
Yes, Nikki. That's what I was wondering too.
She may well have helped her out of the car with the luggage. She may well have got the bag out of the car for her.
I
She
don't
may
think
well
so
have.
because they were only a few seconds in the driveway.
But we only see Shanann walking in.
Right. So Don is looking for that little chart he did.
Yes.
I've had a murder case at my DA's office when I worked where the co-defendants weren't brought to the grand jury for 5 to 10 years after the original defendant was prosecuted. Right. Yeah, it takes forever. And then, it's not only that. If you bring in something, the district attorney or the judges, they're on your case, like trying to debunk and, find every possible reason why you're wrong. This comes on top of that as well.
Thank you, Emma K.
Hi, Desired. Three Musketeers. Yeah.
Those of you that are wondering why I'm in these Woody Allen glasses, these are actually reading glasses because I lost mine on my little tuk-tuk that I ride around on at work delivering the mail. They fell out of a little pouch and they're somewhere floating around the Gold Coast somewhere crushed. So I had to go to the optometrist yesterday and I've ordered 2 new pairs of glasses. So these are reading glasses that I'm wearing. They cost the whole $5.
Tanya, could you please share the video on my site, because I can't
Yes,
share.
of course. Hold on. Mhm. Okay, I got it.
I don't think the Innocence Project would come near this case with a 10-foot pole. Tiger Girl. Sorry to say.
Innocence Project? Nah, forget them.
Forget about them.
I had to do with them numerous times in the past.
Sharon Ashman, Dave, your glasses are gorgeous. Yeah, right. Whatever. Yeah, now I know everything you say from now on's a lie, Sharon.
Okie dokes. So that
I
one
will die 1950.